The DC Extended Universe is in chaos right now, what with the cancellation of Batgirl and the controversies surrounding the Flash star Ezra Miller. A second Justice League film might just be what the DCEU needs to get back on track, but they need to get it right. Who's the director that Warner Bros. Discovery is courting? What's his track record? Keep watching to know why Warner Bros. Discovery wants this director so badly. We begin with why was Batgirl canceled? Warner Bros. Set tongues wagging when they announced the shelving of the Batgirl from earlier this year. To say that the move shocked both fans and professionals alike was an understatement. The movie, which starred Leslie Grace as Barbara Gordon/Batgirl and was directed by Bilal Fallah and Adil El Arbi, was canceled for financial reasons. In a statement made to The Hollywood Reporter, Warner Bros. Said, "The decision to not release Batgirl reflects our leadership's strategic shift as it relates to the DC Universe and HBO Max. Leslie Grace is an incredibly talented actor, and this decision is not a reflection of her performance." They also thanked the rest of the cast and the crew and said that they hope to work with them on other projects. Although the movie cost around $90 million, Warner Bros. Feels the film is not big enough to warrant a major theatrical release, nor is it small enough to make economic sense. Warner Bros. Will reportedly take a tax write-down on the movie. This means that they can never release or sell the movie to another studio, as it would amount to tax fraud. Reacting to the news, Leslie Grace said that she didn't regret her time on the set of the canceled movie and that she had formed lifetime relationships. On their part, the directors said that they were honored to have been a part of the DCEU, even if it was for a short period. Next, what are the DCEU's plans moving forward? Even though Batgirl has been officially canceled, DC's roster of shows looks to be intact. Dwayne Johnson will still be introduced as the ultimate DCEU anti-hero in the highly anticipated Black Adam in October, and there's some talk that he may subsequently be positioned as the franchise's equivalent to Thanos moving forward. Shazam 2 will come after this and see Zachary Levi/Asher Angel's magical superhero make a comeback in a movie that seems unlikely to have been approved by Zaslav, but at least hasn't been scrapped. Given the original Aquaman movie made over $1.1 billion globally, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is unquestionably one of the most significant movies on the calendar when it debuts next year. The Flash is still anticipated to be released in 2023, and many believe that the Flashpoint-inspired plot will function as a literal reboot, necessitating reshoots to conform to the new direction. The cancellation of Batgirl has worried audiences, but there hasn't been any negative news regarding Blue Beetle. Hopefully, such worries will turn out to be unjustified. The four most important DC brands, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman, the Trinity plus the Trident, seem to be the main emphasis of the DCEU's 10-year strategy. During the results call, Zaslav mentioned these heroes by name, and on several of the slides he showed, their logos took the place of pride. Next, what about Justice League 2 and other probable movies? It's only a matter of time before Warner Bros. Discovery commissions Justice League 2, given that the new DCEU purports to be modeled after the MCU. Of course, this won't be the Snyderverse. Too many changes have been made to the DCEU since Zack Snyder left, and executives from Warner Bros. Continue to act as if the Snyder Cut doesn't exist. The Trinity and the Trident are likely to be present, but Ezra Miller's Flash is unlikely to make another appearance because of how controversial the actor has become. The intriguing question is if there will be additional heroes in the DCEU Justice League. Other movies might be released within this 10-year period. The release of these movies depends on the decision of the Warner Bros. Execs or the success of the prequels. These movies are Man of Steel 2, Wonder Woman 3, Aquaman 3, and Joker 3. Up next, Ezra Miller's woes. The Flash and Fantastic Beasts star Ezra Miller has been in the news for the wrong reasons. Miller, who burst into prominence in The Perks of Being a Wallflower 2012, has been accused of assault, abuse, harassment, and grooming a minor. It all started back in April 2020 when a video of them choking a woman at a bar in Reykjavik, Iceland surfaced. In March 2022, they were arrested for disorderly conduct after insulting patrons at a karaoke bar in Hawaii. Also in Hawaii, they were arrested again in April on charges of assault after throwing a chair at a woman during a private party. In an expose by Vanity Fair, Miller was reported to have housed a harem of young women on their Vermont farm. Miller reportedly plays them against each other, screams at them, and belittles them in front of the others. They're also set to appear in court over felony burglary charges after they broke into a house in Vermont and stole bottles of alcoholic drinks. On realizing that their actions might derail the release of the Flash film, they visited the Warner Brothers offices to personally apologize for their actions. They've also released a statement that says, "Having recently gone through a time of intense crisis, I now understand that I'm suffering complex mental health issues and have begun ongoing treatment." Another part of the statement reads, "I want to apologize to everyone that I've alarmed and upset with my past behavior. I'm committed to doing the necessary work to get back to a healthy, safe, and productive stage in my life." We'll see if they really intend to change. We now ask, is this the beginning of the end for the DCEU? With the backlash that greeted the cancellation of Batgirl Batgirl and the furor generated by Ezra Miller's actions, is it safe to say that the DCEU is in an unstoppable decline. Currently, fans believe that the Warner Bros. Discovery management don't have what it takes to improve the status of the franchise. The next few years will be crucial to the continued survival of the DCEU. Hopefully, the film set to be released will make fans forget the controversies of the past few months. Finally, who is the director that Warner Bros. Discovery wants for Justice League? With the uncertainty surrounding DCEU's future releases, one thing our sources have assured us of is that Warner Bros. Discovery wants the Flash director Andy Muschietti to direct Justice League 2. While Andy Muschietti may not be a big name in the same way that Zack Snyder is, he does have a pretty respectable track record. After making a name for himself with the Jessica Chastain horror film Mama, he was selected to direct the two-part Stephen King It adaptations, which grossed over $1 billion worldwide. He was then hired by the DCEU to direct The Flash, starring Ezra Miller. Justice League 2 was announced in 2014, years before the first film, with Zack Snyder returning as director. However, things played out quite differently than anyone could have imagined, with Snyder stepping down due to personal tragedy. The first Justice League was a critical and economic flop, and everything just kind of got weird. Justice League 2 appears to be in the works for the DCEU, and a steady director like Andy Muschietti could be just what Warner Bros. Discovery is looking for. Andy Muschietti, on the other hand, has a long history of being touted as the director of a film and then having it fall through, including Bird Box, The Electric State, an adaptation of Shadow of the Colossus, and a live-action version of Attack on Titan. Justice League 2 will surely require a filmmaker who is capable of weathering the degree of studio demands and audience expectations on such a high-profile film. If he does decide to join Justice League 2, Andy Muschietti should be up for it. In related news, Batgirl's Leslie Grace reveals new BTS footage from canceled DC movie. Leslie Grace took to TikTok to release new Batgirl BTS footage almost 2 months after Warner Bros. Discovery canceled it. The brief collection includes new looks at some of the hard-hitting action from the scrapped DCEU film, including battle training for Grace and a snippet of what appears to be a confrontation with Firefly. The aborted DCEU movie had all the makings of a blockbuster action film, as proven by the new footage and another previously released Batgirl BTS film involving a crazy Christmas tree stunt. Surprisingly, the new BTS footage suggests that the picture relied heavily on physical effects rather than the CGI-heavy set pieces that most other DCEU movies are known for, with the exception of James Gunn's Suicide Squad and Kathy Yan's Birds of Prey. Given that many audiences have expressed dissatisfaction with the dependence on blue screen-based action, the new Batgirl BTS video's tease of grounded effects is guaranteed to leave many upset by the film's cancellation. Congratulations on watching until this point. Do you think Andy Muschietti is a good choice for Justice League 2? Should Warner Bros. Discovery go ahead with the release of the Flash film? Leave your answers in the comments section.